Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Orange County. Thank you, Bill. We're so glad that you're all here. We always like to begin with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll join me, please. Our vision is centered in divine love. We joyfully co-create a world that works for all. And our mission is to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. So we always like to acknowledge the people that make this service possible. So we have Bill on piano, and we're grateful. And Tom is our sound man. And John and Waverly are doing our streaming. And Christopher is on camera. And our prayer platform person for today is Diane. So let's give them all a big hand. So this Tuesday, which is the 17th at 6:30, we're having one of our spiritual movie discussion groups, and the movie is on the Legend of Bagger Vance, which is based on the Bhagavad Gita, and so it's going to be 6:30 to 7:30. It's going to be on Zoom, and the ID for the Zoom is 884-8876 and 2325, and there'll be an announcement with that going out tomorrow. And you're also invited to join us to spend some time in gratitude and give thanks for the many blessings in our life on Wednesday, November 25th at 6 p.m. We're going to do it at Unity and on Zoom. And so you can go on our website for all that information. And it's a great way to prepare for Thanksgiving and the upcoming holidays. And we are in partnership with South County Outreach, helping to make Christmas 2020 a little brighter for those families that are having a really tough time. And so we are collecting gift cards for Walmart or Target. You know, usually we bring in toys, but because of COVID, we're using gift cards. We have a little snowman up here. You can mail them into the church. You can bring them into the church. If you do write a check instead, please make the check payable to South County Outreach or Kimberly. Kimberly, she's getting the cards. Kimberly Dale, which is Deile. So do not make the checks out to Unity of Orange County. And today, after the service, we continue our 40 days of gratitude, and that is via Zoom and also is held in the church. So we are going, you know, every year we have a fundraiser where we have some kind of party with a theme and all of that. Well, because of COVID, obviously, we're not going to do a fundraiser. So we're going to do a non-event event. So the whole idea of this is you don't come. Don't come. Don't have to get dressed. You don't have to make anything. You don't have to figure out what to wear. But we're going to sell tickets. And it's a way for us to raise some money for the church. And just think of all the money you're going to save, not going to a fundraiser. And all the time you're going to save, not having to get dressed and cook and all of that. So we're going to be sending stuff out on that, so you'll get more information on that. And for a full list of our events, go to our website. And now I would like to introduce Diane to do the daily word and our meditation.
So the daily word for Sunday, November 15th is kindness. I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness. The word kindness triggers feelings of warmth, connection, and love in my heart. I smile as I recall ways that friends, family members, and others have shown me kindness. I feel again the gratitude and blessing I experienced in those moments. Gratitude, love, and a beautiful awareness of connection fill my heart and mind in a remarkably similar way when I remember kindnesses that I've shared. The movement of electrons through a wire creates a current of flow. As kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential to this current of love. So I look for opportunities to share acts of kindness. I welcome with a grateful heart the kindness others share with me. And from Micah 6:8, what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? Now, today's meditation is a practice called loving kindness meditation. So become comfortable in your chair, sitting in a relaxed but straight posture with your shoulders relaxed. And allow your hands to rest comfortably in your lap. Gently close your eyes, settling into awareness of the body and the breath, connecting to the breath. Let yourself bask in the energy of loving kindness. Breathe it in and breathe it out, inviting feelings of peace and acceptance. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. Now open the circle of loving kindness by bringing to mind someone who is dear to you, someone whom you care about and who's been supportive. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of being alive. Now, bring to mind a neutral person. It could be a neighbor, a grocery store clerk. Bring this person to mind now. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of being alive. Now bring to mind someone with whom you've had a difficult relationship. Perhaps it's someone you don't feel sympathy or compassion for. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of being alive. Now allow your awareness to open in all directions. Yourself, a dear one, a neutral person, a difficult person, and of all beings, humans and animals living everywhere, living in richness, poverty, war, peace, hunger, abundance, aware of all the joys and sorrows that all beings experience. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings feel my love now. May all beings awaken and be free. May all beings know the natural joy of being alive. And now, bringing this practice to a close by coming back to extend kindness to yourself, sitting for a while and basking in the energy of loving kindness that may have been generated here.
Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful. Thank you. So, we've been looking at the wisdom from the world religions for the last month or so, more than a month. And so I was thinking, well, what do I want to do today? And I thought, I have this fascination for Native Americans. And so I thought I wanted to do that. Now, a lot of people believe that Native Americans don't have a religion because they don't believe in the sense that we believe. But it's this misconception of them that has caused the problems over the years. So when the settlers came to this country, the Europeans, the white men, you know, they saw this culture of people that was so different from them that they just assumed that they were savages because they weren't like them. For instance, even today, you know, Americans are into success and Native Americans are all about happiness. And we, the Europeans and us now, are all about being number one and getting ahead. That's why they kept moving across the country. And Native Americans are about sharing. And we're about being youth-oriented, even today's society for sure. And Native Americans are all about honoring the elder. And we really see the difference when we get to nature. You know, we look at nature, unless we're environmentally aware nowadays, and certainly back when the Europeans came to this country, there was no environmental awareness. And it was just take, 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 take. You know, the Native Americans have this deep appreciation for the land. They see the land and the animals and the plants and the mountains and the sky and the clouds as all part of the same. No different from them, where they're all part of the same universe, part of the same system. And so their belief is so beautiful. So I don't know why, but when I was young, which was a lot of years ago, and really young, back then, all the Westerns, the cowboys and the settlers were the good guys, and the Native Americans, which were called Indians. And they named them Indians because when people came to this country looking for India, and they saw the Native Americans, they called them Indians. They thought they were India, so they must be Indians. And so I always felt sorry for the Native Americans. I mean, no matter how badly they were portrayed, I was always rooting for them. I didn't know why, but there was some part of me that thought, it's just not fair. You know, we come into this country, we take over their land, we take over their resources, and then, we blame them for everything. And so when everybody is cheering for the Cowboys, I'm like cheering for the Indians. So that was the beginning of my fascination with it. And then I moved to Kansas, Missouri for 2 years. I was in ministerial school. And one of my best friends was this woman named Alice, and she was part Native American. And I began to really appreciate through her many of the traditions of Native Americans. And my first, though, real interest was I was driving. It was the first time I had done this. I was driving from Kansas City, Missouri to Manhattan, Kansas, which is quite a distance over the plains. And I'm driving across the plains, and it was like I could just see. It was like I could see them on the hills, and I could see them, and it was like, it was so weird. I mean, I just really felt like I had been transported back to time, and I was crossing the plains, and it was back when they were free and roaming and everything, and that became my interest. And then Alice used to do a lot of meditations and stuff using a medicine wheel. So the circle is really important in Native Americans. They believe that everything operates in a circle. So this is a quote from Black Elk, who was a holy man of the Oglala Sioux. Have you noticed that everything an Indian does is in a circle? And this is because the power of the world always works in circles. The sky is round, and I am told that the earth is round like a ball. The wind in its great power whirls round. The seasons go round and round in a circle. The life of a man is a circle, from child to childlike. Our teepees were round like the nest of birds and were always set out in a circle. And from another Sioux, Luther Standing Bear, love settles within the circle, embracing it and thereby lasting forever, turning within itself. So in this circle, there's 4 parts, and they represent the 4 directions, which is north, south, east, and west. And then often there's a section which represents Father Sky, Mother Earth, and Spirit Trees. And so what Alice would do is we would go into this, she would create this medicine wheel, and we would do a affirmation and a meditation facing each of the directions, because each of the directions represent a different part of us. And so it's like, it was so profound. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I've done labyrinths and stuff, but there was something about this circle, and there was drumming going and chanting, and there was just so much power in there. It was such a powerful experience. So I just was really transfixed by this whole thing. And so I also became fascinated with Native American music, which is a wonderful thing to meditate to. I'm telling you, you should find some Native American music, some flute and drums, and meditate to it. Don't do a guided or some guided ones on the web. Just the music. The music is so unbelievable. So one time I was house sitting for my friend Alice. She and her partner were going away, and I was dog sitting for the dog buddy. And I was getting ready to do my regular meditation, and I was looking through her music, and I saw all this Native American music, and I hadn't really listened to it before, so I put it on, and I got into a meditation. And it is one of the deepest meditations I've ever done. And while I was in the meditation, I could see this medicine man and this medicine woman and this fire and they were dancing around, and it was like I was there, and it was just the most amazing experience. And so I got out of the meditation when I did, and I was just like blown away by it because they were there. I swear to God, they were there in that room with me. And so it was time to leave her house, and I left, and they came home, and she calls me up, and she says to me, she says, "What happened when you were here?" I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Something happened in this apartment. Were you visited by anybody?" And I said to her, "I have to tell you about this meditation I had." And she said, "I could feel the spirits when I walked in." And it was such an amazing experience. And even today, when I hear Native American music, it's really easy to get into a trance because it's so rhythmic and it's so amazing. So I'm also fascinated by stories. So in the 70s, in the early 70s, I read the book Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, which is one of the first books written that honestly looked at Native Americans. But it also talks about the massacre at Wounded Knee, which was a terrible blacken on our history. The whole, the whole settling of the West is a really terrible, it's genocide. You know, we talk about the Nazis in Germany. What we did in this country to the Native Americans is as bad. We totally committed genocide. We destroyed their culture. We destroyed the way that they got their living. The buffaloes were killed. The buffalo was their way to clothe themselves, feed themselves, build their teepees. Everything they did in their life revolved around the buffalo. We destroyed the buffalo. And so I read this book, Bury My Heart on Wounded Knee, and it affected me so much. I was reading the book. I was married to my ex-husband at the time. And he had a temper. That's why he's my ex-husband. Anyway, so I'm reading this book, and he's trying to talk to me, and I am in this book. I mean, this book is just, I just feel like my heart is breaking. And he took the book, and he ripped it up. And I was like, so I got in my car, and I drove to a store, and I bought another book. And I found some place, and I parked my car, and I locked the car, and I read the rest of the book. That's how fascinated I have been with this. So I love the movies. So one of my favorite movies is Dancing with Wolves. But I have to tell you, I have trouble watching the movies because anytime they show the treatment of the Native Americans and what we did, there's a scene in Dancing with the Wolves. They're looking for the buffalo because the buffalo is their source of everything. And Kevin Costner, who plays this white man who becomes friends with the Sioux, he sees the buffalo and he goes and he tells the Sioux where the buffalo is and he leads them to the buffalo. Well, by the time they get to the first aspect of the buffaloes, the white men have gotten there. And they see these carcasses of buffalo that have just been skinned for their skin, and the rest has been laid to rot. Well, the buffalo never did that. You know, they always honored the animal, and they always used every aspect of the animal, because the animals and they were the same. They're all part of the same spirit. So I just got sick when I saw that, but it's just a beautiful story of how when a white man tries to really understand this other culture and really pay attention to what they believe and what they teach and everything else, he becomes really good friends with them. And he actually eventually marries someone who happens to be a white woman raised by them and lives with them, gives up his post at the fort, and he lives with them. And at the beginning, they don't trust him because he's a white man, and the white men were the ones who were taking away everything that they cared about. But at the end, he has to leave the tribe because the soldiers are after him because they consider him a traitor. And so he's saying goodbye to Kicking Bull, which is their medicine man, who had a really hard time with him at the beginning. And there's this scene where they're saying goodbye to each other, and it goes to show you how when we try and understand people who are different than us, instead of just saying, well, they're different than us, so they can't be as good as us or whatever, which we tend to do, how we can go across the boundaries and find companionship and find understanding and friendship. So this is the scene of them saying goodbye.
नहीं ताया है
You finish your pipe. Oh, good pipe. How does it smoke?
I've never smoked it.
We come far, you and me.
I will not forget you.
So there are these two people who at the beginning were just completely opposite, and they find harmony and friendship because Kevin Costner's character understood what they believed in. And so the important thing is also, and Native Americans still have this understanding of the land that we don't understand. You know, we look at our environment now and we talk about all this stuff, but for most people, we mistreat planet Earth. And it is reacting right now. It is coming back to bite us, you know. But this is what the Indians believed, that the land was put here by the Great Spirit to support mankind. That the land did not and could not belong to any one person. That the land belonged to all creatures. That land could not be sold. That land should be venerated because the ancestors were buried there. That land was beautiful and should be enjoyed by all. And that land was eternal and imperishable. That spirits lived in the earth and it was unwise to anger them. And the buffalo needed open land to migrate, so fences and farms were impossible. So they respected all. So this idea about, you know, spirit living in the land and all that is true today. So I invite us to, when we're doing things in our life, to think a little bit like a Native American, to see other creatures, all animals, as the same. The spirit that is within us is within them, not to just take, and to think about the land, which, although the Indians believe was imperishable, but we see it in front of our eyes, slowly being destroyed. So the next time you think about throwing something out that could be recycled, or the next time you're driving along, you throw something out of your car or whatever, or you start polluting it with whatever, think about it and honor the land, because we have been given this earth. And we have to take a little bit more time to appreciate it and honor everything that lives on this earth, because once we lose it, we lose it. The buffalo are gone. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and take a few deep breaths. And I invite you to think about this earth, this land that we live on, the ground that we stand on, the trees and the grass, the sky, the sun and the moon, the rain, the snow. All of life evolves around these things. So I invite you to each day to ask yourself, what can you do to honor and protect this land, this earth, these elements, so that they are here for generations to come? And to not be so quick to judge someone because they look different or speak different or have different beliefs. For we are all part of the same family. Meditate and think about that each day. And the next time you look at someone and judge them because of the way they look or their beliefs, ask yourself this. Do we not believe that we are all part of God? That God lives and breathes and moves within everybody? So how can we say that one thing that is created by the Creator is better than another? We are all equal and the same. And when we understand that, we will appreciate this life we have been given, this earth we have been given, and each person we come in contact with. And so as Thanksgiving approaches, I invite you to take time each day to be grateful. Grateful for Mother Earth, the sky, and everything in creation. And so we say thank you. And so it is. Amen. Wow, that was beautiful. I just have to give Bill credit because every week I throw these religions at him, and every week he comes up with music. So thank you. Yeah, and some of them haven't been that easy, but thank you, thank you. So every week we like to go over our 5 basic principles here at Unity just to affirm them and to remind ourselves what it is that Unity believes. So if you'd like to join with me, the first one is God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. And I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And 5, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know. I make a difference. And one way we make a difference is by giving. And there's lots of ways to give. Everyone here that gives in service is giving. And your gifts to Unity of Orange County enables us to keep going. And so there are many ways to give your gifts. You can text them by going 77977, and in the text message put Unity of OC Give, and you can choose any amount you want to. You can go on our website to where the donate is, and you can give that way. You can download our app and give on the app, and you can mail in gifts to the church. So we accept them any way you'd like to give them. We appreciate them. And if you are here and you are ready to give, we always like to say our affirmation blessing. And if you're at your homes, you can repeat it with us. So let us take our gifts in our hands, or just bless and say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. And so join us next week. So I just want to say, I want to thank, she's not here right now, but Shanice, who did the service last week. That was a beautiful service on the light and with the wheel she had. And so it's just wonderful to hear what other people have to share. I love it when other people speak because then I don't have to listen to me. I get to hear what other people have to say. So that's always good. So next week is the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And so join us as we talk a little bit about gratitude, one of my favorite subjects. And now let us close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God, and thank you, and have a wonderful, safe week. See you next week.